Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Harold and the Purple Crayon. And this movie came out in 2024, and it's currently on Netflix, and that's how I watched it. And I knew nothing about this movie going into it, and coming out of this movie, I thought it was pretty bad. The only things that I kind of liked about it were Zachary Levi and his sidekick characters, that they were giving off good performances, and there was one joke that I kind of laughed at. Couldn't even tell you what it was. I just know that I laughed at one joke. The only entertaining scenes in this movie are the action scenes, because they are the only scenes in this movie where something is happening, whereas the rest of the movie is just nothing happening. Most of the comedy in this movie was just not for me. I did not laugh at 99% of the jokes that were in the movie. It was just, oh, this is awkward. Isn't this funny? Because an adult character would not normally do this. Isn't this funny? And that's the whole movie. And it just becomes really irritating to me after a certain point. The characters in this movie are exaggerated to the point where I never once bought them as real people. And I get it. It's a kid's movie, and it's not really trying to be super serious the entire time, but there are plenty of points where it is kind of taking itself seriously for no reason. Even detached from that, I just found it too distracting because I wasn't able to take anything seriously in this movie. But at the same time, there are scenes where the main character gets hit by a car, and a car accident happens, and a flat tire happens because of this car accident, and everyone's okay with this, I guess. And Zoe Deschanel in this movie is just like, oh, this again, basically. And speaking of Zoe Deschanel, she was just bad in this movie. I never once felt as though she emoted anything other than just like, okay, this is happening, that's happening, this is happening, that's happening. Like, she's delivering every single line exactly the same throughout the entire film. And it was really annoying. I could not stand her in this movie. This movie barely has a plot to it. Like, most of it is just random things happening for no reason, and there's no sequence of events that really happening. You could change the order of the scenes and nothing would change, really. Nothing would be added, nothing would be subtracted. It's just a whole bunch of nonsense that I guess I was able to keep track of because barely anything happens in the movie. The pacing for this movie is also very slow. The first 30 minutes is basically nothing happening, and nothing really happens until like almost an hour through the movie, where we get, I don't know, the villain starts to do things, I guess. And yeah, that's about it. And once we get to the climax of the movie, all I kept thinking about was the kid who would be king, and how much more I enjoyed that movie. Not a great movie, but I was thinking about that and thinking, wow. That movie, from memory, did some things that were pretty good, especially for a kid's movie. And honestly, I haven't even thought of that movie since watching it in theaters, really. The movie was not interestingly shot at all. It was just shot reverse shot, and there was nothing interesting going on visually. It's just exactly what you would expect from any other movie that you would watch. The music in this movie was very bland. Could not hum you one note from it. The visual effects, sometimes it was passable, sometimes it was kind of creepy and just didn't look like it was a part of the environment. And I get it, it's a kid's movie, it's trying not to scare people too much, but at the same time, what I'm seeing on screen just does not look like it belongs in the environment. It feels like it belongs in a 3D animated film. And speaking of how this movie looks, the entire film, it just looks like a made-for-TV movie by the way it's lit. And honestly, it kind of reminded me of the Avengers from 2012, just the way that movie looked in terms of the lighting. And that's about all I have to say about Harold and the Purple Crayon. It was boring, it was unfunny for 99% of it, probably closer to 100. The action scenes are the only memorable parts about the movie, and even those aren't great, but it's something happening, which is more than I can say for most of the movie. And I just got nothing out of this movie. I will never watch it again, and that's about all I have to say about it. I don't even know if I can recommend it to people who are looking for a kids movie, because I would just imagine they would just be bored while watching this movie, because barely anything happens in it. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Harold and the Purple Crayon a 2 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Harold and the Purple Crayon, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar and 3 More. I have seen all the short films for like that Netflix has that are all directed by Wes Anderson. The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, The Swan, Poison, and The Ratcatcher. I've seen all of those. I haven't seen the full version where it's, I guess, all of them together. I think that's what this is. I don't know. This might just be a big waste of time. But I'll let you know if I pick up on any moderate differences or if I'm wrong about any of these things. So anyways, I'll look forward to my review of that. But until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.